They have absolutely no support whatsoever. They're a quality team. They're still here. They're not scrubs. They, for some reason, can't get the support of the LA faithful the way the Rams do. I think if Dean Spanos had heard reports that they were thinking about moving back to San Diego, I don't think you would have gotten that reaction. But to sit up there and say they're moving to another damn nation, I think that is what got him riled up, and I don't blame him, because it's utterly ridiculous to think that the San Diego Chargers would all of a sudden be the London Chargers. That's going a bit too damn far.
Well, I dislike it totally how he responded to it, and a part of it is what both of you guys are talking about. He is the brother that gets no play. He is the little brother in a bigger situation. He's a small fish in a big pond, and he's never going to equate to that. So the response was really based off his personal feeling of where he feels like the San Diego Chargers are. And to your point, Max and Stephen A., the Chargers have been a good team. We talking about a team last year that had Super Bowl aspirations and were in contention. Anthony Lynn is doing a hell of a job. But his reaction was a personal feeling that we'll never be what I think we should be or what I want to be in LA. And then London, Max, I don't even understand the whole notion about moving to London. The first thing I think about as a former player is travel. That's number one. I'm like,
that part's the worst.
Yeah, like how in the world, just logistically, how are we gonna do this? And then two, I think it gives the notion, Stephen A., and I get it, like we curse to emphasize and people use vile language all the time, especially when you're dealing with sports. But I think in this particular situation, it rubbed me the wrong way because it was it was like a power move, the way he was talking. Like, you shouldn't be around me asking me those type of questions. Well, it's a legitimate question, and I know from your history in sports media and journalism, and Max as well, and my young career, I know that I don't want to be talked down to. I don't mind emphasis. I don't mind you saying what you need to say. But to me, it came off like a rich owner that's talking down to people that need
don't
that
don't
want
dare
what
even
if he
ask
was just trying to show that there's no gray area?
But Molly, there is no point for you to go there. First of all, the first thing I think of, and maybe it's me, I think of things in a different way. I think because of the emotion, you give more validity to the question, right?
Yep.
Like most of the time we can things die. And I've been trying to explain this. I tell this to my kids. I tell this to my friends. When you become emotional about things, people immediately know that they've touched the nerve and they know how they got you. That's just human nature to respond to something you don't like emotionally. But with that being said, if Dean Spanos would have said, we're not moving to London, anything else?
Yeah, listen, I hear that point about he's playing himself, right? Like by doing that, he's showing he's like a fish on a hook. And Molly, I also understand your point. Like he's trying to leave no ambiguity.
Yeah, he's shutting
We're not
it down.
bleeping, moving to London. My issue is not even the profanity or any of that. My issue is, and again, I'm not putting him in a Dan Snyder or Jim Dolan kind of, boy, the league would be better off without him kind of category. His father bought the team, came up from nothing, bought the Chargers. He's passionate about it, obviously, and they generally put a good product out on the field. But before you start yelling at someone who's asking a question, because Marcus, to your point, it's like, yeah, we're going to continue to ask those questions. You don't get to decide what questions you're asked, as Stephen A., you always point out. But to like flip on the question, Spanos has to ask himself, where has he failed to connect to the fans with this franchise? They've failed to do that.
He didn't flip on a question. What happened is the Los Angeles Times came to him about a report in The Athletic. So he was responding to the report about The Athletic, not snapping at the reporter from the LA Times who asked him about it. So the point that I'm trying to make to you is this. Like a lot of times, guys, I'll be honest with you. People come up to me with BS, and I'll sit up there and I'll go like this. I could say no comment. I could sit up there and say none of your business, or I could say none of your MFing business. Which one would you prefer for emphasis to get my point? You understand? Sometimes it takes the very innocuous, harmless, non-offensive point of view, and people get it. Sometimes you got to raise up. to make sure you provide accentuation and punctuation to your damn point so somebody could get the message. Now, he might not be the person in a position to do that since he just left San Diego in 2017 to come to LA, and I understand that argument. But let's not sweat the fact that he used profanity to make his point. He did it for emphasis, obviously, and it wasn't against the reporter for the LA Times who asked him the question. It was against the report in The Athletic that he was trying to knock down.
That's fair, Stephen A. and Marcus, but what I'm saying is Spanos has to do a better job than he's doing. He's not cultivating a fan base. And so obviously, I agree with you about the travel, Marcus, and all that stuff. I agree with you about the travel, Stephen A. I disagree with you. I love football as early as possible. Keep it going all day on a Sunday. I don't mind that as a consumer. But my point is he's not like one of the worst, but he's putting out a good product. He's not cultivated a fan base. That's why these questions and reports are out there.
Well, in my personal opinion, number one, if you have no problem with football at 9:30 on a Sunday morning, I'm wondering about your Saturday nights, bro. I'm just saying, okay? That's number one, all right?
I got three kids.
Max, I ain't gonna lie. I got a big problem with Sunday morning football. I hate
Sunday morning football. 9:30, I'm wondering about your Saturday night. But number two, I'm just saying,
aren't you 50 years old? Aren't you 50 years old? When I was 30, I worried about it.
He's still getting it.
50, brother.
Hey, Stephen A. say he's still getting it. He's still cursing people out.
It's a young spirit. It's a young spirit, Max. You got to stay young, Max. You got to stay young. That's all I'm saying. I'm not running around or anything like that, but just stay young.
If I'm out of the kids' room on a Saturday night by 9:30, I'm winning.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.